Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, Ross, Ed, how you guys doing?
Aces.
Fantastic.
Ed,
Awesome.
You looked a little confused there.
I'm glad we rehearsed that.
Since now we don't have awkward endings, we have to have awkward intros now.
Right, we'll start doing awkward intros.
How's everyone doing this week? The draft is in the book. I think it's books. And it's been a vicious day on Twitter. How's everyone doing?
It's not that
Surviving.
vicious if you don't read it or you stay out of it,
Yeah.
or if you're too busy selling socks to care about what people think.
That's what happens when you lose in Cleveland all the time. You know, down in Columbus, we win football games. And another thing, too, I'll say one thing. We don't have spouses, so these football players aren't going to deal with that crap. So it's one thing nice that we win, and we ain't got to deal with that. So
Jessica says, what's up? It's good to have you back in the comments.
That's right.
We have a
Their anniversary last week, and she missed the show. So happy
anniversary.
4th anniversary to Shane and Jessica.
Oh, and happy anniversary to the Barking Browns today. May
Barking
the 4th.
Browns?
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Nick
our
and
friends
Jacob.
now. It might not be. Yeah, Nick and Jacob.
So we have a great show for you today. It's actually sponsored by the great Ed in Columbus. He sponsored this episode of the Dawg Chug. He's actually paying us to be on the Dawg Chug, which is great. Thank you, Ed, for that. We have a couple ads that we're going to read in honor of Ed, which are going to be super exciting. We're also going to have a comprehensive review of the draft. I'm sure you're all sick of everyone, reviewing the draft. And it's ridiculous. People actually think they can review the draft like the day after, the second day after. Yeah. It's complete bullshit. But at the Dawg Chug, we wait a full 5 days before we review it.
Right.
So
Well, that's just because we got to know the names. I think it takes us a little longer to process.
Whatever. We're going to have a great review of the draft, and you're literally going to know everything you need to know about this great crop of guys. So excited about that. We're also excited to bring you our great guest, Gator, but unfortunately, he couldn't make it today. So you're stuck with us.
That just means more me, so that's okay.
It's more Ed.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
A Barkiversary.
I'm just ready for the anniversary of the Barking Browns. That's a few months away.
Yeah.
That's
That's gonna be huge.
I cannot wait to not tune into that.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to have us back on, all of us that were on that first night, that night when we were all on. Ross wasn't on, but he'll join us by proxy because he's day one dog.
No, he'll weasel his way in.
Should have that on that end.
I'll weasel my way in, or I'll just comment on Twitch because, I actually interact with you guys. So. And I always give Ed shout outs.
Get your subs, Twitch, Faithful Dogs Network.
So how is everyone feeling about this draft class? Ross, what were your general thoughts? So obviously we're going to get in much more into it.
General thoughts is that the first day and a half was super boring because we didn't do shit. I mean, that's probably the bottom line. Oh, I'm so excited for 3 4th round picks. Yeah. Really wasn't that exciting. I mean, but thankfully there's I did watch the Barking Browns a lot, and Jacob got me hyped up for these later round picks. So
nice. Something
to look forward to.
Roger, how did it how do you take this draft class?
I know how New England fans feel and Green Bay fans feel, and winning franchise fans feel about the draft now. They don't give a shit about the draft. You don't see New England Patriot fans mocking for 9 months because they're picking up and they're filling the roster, filling holes, and they're building depth, and they're building kids to bring along and fill the role when somebody wants to, when their contract's up, somebody to plug and play. And that's how good franchises do it, and that's what Andrew Berry and Paul DePodesta did.
Well said. This was a little bit of a lackluster draft, but usually the draft is Cleveland Super Bowl. This year, it just didn't have that feeling, and that's probably a good thing. Ed, I wanted to turn to you. You actually had a little interesting confrontation with one of the new draftees.
Let me tell you about that. Okay, so I'm all excited. Pick 124. The Cleveland Browns decided to take their unspecial teams and make it special by drafting Cade York, kicker from LSU, best kicker in the draft. I'm all excited. I actually made a paper football and made a little tweet and everything like that. So I was hyped. And then And then he was on the really big show. So I tweeted that he was cool under pressure, like a York peppermint patty. Even Aaron Goldhammer shouted out, read it on the radio and everything. And here's what happened, Andy. Here is what happened, okay? I put this nice tweet up there. And then
honoring the selection. And by the way, you had been a York fan saying we should add him for months now.
For months. And then I put this awesome tweet up. Nick Carnes and Andy Manchin replied to this awesome tweet, okay? Here's what happens. Likes by Cade York on Andy Manchin and Nick Carnes, but not the original. Not what started it all. Eddie Columbus, Cade York, suck it. You know what? I'm mad at you right now. You know what it's going to take? Go 20 for 20 like Evan McPherson of the Cincinnati Bengals. Kick us into the Super Bowl, or I'm never going to like you.
Didn't your daughter just say he was the hottest guy in the draft?
I think she did.
Is that where this anger is coming from? Are you worried about her?
No, I actually pulled the robbery on that one. He wasn't number one, but I tried to get back in his good graces because I may use that down the road.
Okay. So your daughter isn't going to prom with Cade York. Okay.
And even as angry as you are, you're still trying to get in his good graces.
I will whore myself out, whatever it takes, Andy. No shame in this game.
You're one of a kind, Ed.
You know what? Nathan Zagura, he's going to be doing play-by-play. Maybe that podcast spot opened up over at the Browns headquarters.
Well, I need something to do. I don't think I have enough of these gigs going.
Jessica agrees your York peppermint patty tweet was legit, although I think
thank you, Jessica. Thank you.
My response was hilarious.
It was, Andy, and that's the thing. He should have just kept going up the like tree, but he didn't. He stopped. I don't know what. I mean, maybe he was blinded by how great it was, or I thought maybe he was going to quote tweet me and say, "Ed in Columbus, that is the greatest tweet I've ever seen." Nothing. Crickets. You know what? I'm still waiting on you, Cade York.
Listen. First of all, peppermint patties suck. If you compared me to a peppermint patty, I'd probably not like it either because I'm like, that's a terrible candy.
You know what? I said this. You know, Andy, you chug a lot, right? I always say this. Can somebody actually eat 2 or 3 York peppermint patties? Because you eat one and you never want to eat one again.
Did you say you say that all the time? Like that's a thought you've had multiple times?
I have a lot of thoughts that kind of just. Yeah, I don't want to indict myself here. Can we? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, the
being Ed in Columbus, it's like the movie John Malkovich. Being in his head.
The Ed in Columbus York rivalry will continue. Unfortunately,
I think I can outkick him too. By the way,
you do.
I do.
You know,
sounds like a challenge.
Where would you kick him if you could?
I'd split the uprights.
I have a friends that live in nearby that actually get a goalpost for their yard, and they have a big party right around Memorial Day where they have this big kicking competition. So you should come to Cleveland and you can test. Everyone puts in like $10, and then whoever wins gets the whole pot.
You know what? May 14th. Shout out to the dog guy. What is it? Top Dog Tailgate. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
May 14th. Eddie Columbus is coming back to Cleveland, and you know what? I'm bringing a football, and you know what? Maybe I'll do some kicking in the metro parks.
Ooh.
So if anyone was looking to go to Columbus but worried you'd run into Ed in Columbus, the 14th would be the weekend to go.
You'll miss them.
You know what I was thinking? I'll sign autographs. You know what? I'll take pictures with babies. Whatever I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna sign autographs. Okay.
Yeah. Are you registered?
I told Kelly this too. I said that I was thinking of having making posters and stuff like up and have them already signed. But I think the thrill is to actually sign it in front of the people because I think that's the thrill.
I am going to record you signing any autographs during the tailgate.
Oh, you know what? Let's do it. I will sign at least 2 autographs. I will be 2 autographs while I'm there.
I bet you he brings a Sharpie. I'd pay a ticket to see that, Ed.
He'll bribe some people to sign stuff.
I promise Ed has a Sharpie next Saturday.
I will. And there'll be a silver one, too.
Wow. And that thing is going to be completely unused, but go ahead.
More than likely, but yes.
How many balls will he sign? That is the question.
Yes, that is the question. All right. Well, I think we should get to our comprehensive review because everyone's talking about the draft, and now I think they need to learn who are the guys that we selected, who's going to be good, who's going to be useful for this year down the road. We got to break this down. So, Ross, why don't you describe how the Dawg Chug does this? Because we do a little bit different than other podcasts.
Yeah, so a lot of people are used to, like a film grade or like a athletic grade with these advanced analytics, GPS data, you name it, they've got it. They say, and also, fit for the team. What does that team need? What are they missing? But here at the Dawg Chug, what we do is we look at very important categories such as social media, their girlfriend, wives, or side pieces, and most importantly their sign, the sign associated with when they're born. This is what really determines what a person's really like, what their fit is with
scientific.
Teammates. Everyone's worried about their on-field performance, but what are they doing off the field, and what's their makeup in life?
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, we dig deep.
That's digging deep.
But yes, we're going to be doing a scoring system of 1 to 10 for each one of these categories, and the sum of the score, whoever has the highest, that best case scenario, 30 out of 30. So you'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, Roger, are you going to keep track of the scores?
I'm going to keep track of scores.
All right. All right, then who do we have up first?
All right, so with this, we're going to be doing 4 of the drafted players the Browns took. And first up, the first pick, Alex Wright, defensive end, UAB.
What about the actual guy we drafted first?
Martin Emerson.
Well, you know what? I was falling asleep because I thought we were going to be picking in the second round, and I got pissed off. Sorry.
We don't know who that guy is. Nobody knew. They were kind of mad. The Miz gets up there, and I thought it was going to be awesome. And then he says Martin Emerson, cornerback, Mississippi State. I'm like, who?
All right.
Wouldn't be the Dawg Chug if I said it right?
They're drafted. Alex,
so we're going with defensive end, Alex Wright. And social media. So I got some statistics here for you. So I was doing some Googling. He doesn't appear to have a Twitter. So that's a big question mark in my books. I mean, we're all active here where we have people that actually watch our show because of Twitter, not because of any other social media platform. However, he does have an Instagram. And I will say, for being at UAB, having 4.6 thousand followers isn't too bad. But he only has 25 posts. So this guy really isn't trying to get out there. But you know what I think? This might be a good thing. You know who a lot of people aren't a fan of is our last quarterback. Some people said, hey, you interact too much on social media. You're posting too much, sharing your opinion. Maybe we want a guy that's kind of under the radar, not sharing his opinion too much, kind of guy just trying to get to work. Not trying to take the spotlight. That might be a good thing.
I like
so
it,
for me, I'm actually giving this guy a 7.
All right.
Ooh.
7's a good score.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take on the girlfriend category, the side piece, as we like to say. So we actually have a little bit of evidence of who he might be dating.
Who he might be dating, allegedly.
Not confirmed.
Okay.
But here you go. This is
okay.
a picture of Alex Wright's maybe girlfriend. And at the Dawg Chug, we give bonus points to girls that wear body paint. So we're gonna give Wright a solid 9.
Got to give a 9 on that.
So there you
It's
go.
only fair to give extra points for body paint.
Yeah.
Hey, you found someone that went to UAB. All right. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they used to. Okay, that makes sense now. I wonder what.
All right, what's our last category?
Okay, we're doing signs, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Alex Wright, he's a Virgo. That's like virgin. That's not good because you want contact. He's a defensive end, and if you know what I'm saying, you want physicality, and if he's a virgin or a Virgo or whatever, interrelated, that kind of concerns me a little bit. But some of the traits are he's obsessive and he's a perfectionist. At what, I don't know. He's raw. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about this. I'm not actually going to have to give him a 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man,
All right.
that's our second highest drafted player.
Yeah. Roger, let's give you about 5 minutes so you can tabulate the scores.
I didn't know there was going to be. You keep telling me he got a 20. I didn't know there was going to be math, but luckily,
20.
yeah.
20 out of 30. That's
26.6666666%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I loved the pick, but now that's pretty good.
That's pretty good right there. It's not bad.
All right. Ross, let's move it to the next guy. See how he stacks up.
All right. So we have a receiver, something everybody on Twitter wanted, all the Twitter GMs out there. We wanted a receiver. If we would have had a first pick, everyone thought we were going to take one, but we ended up getting one in the 3rd round. That's David Bell. So with social media, he actually has some pretty impressive statistics here. You know, being in the Big Ten, I'm sure that helps going to Purdue. 24.7 thousand followers on Twitter, and he has an alarming 29,000 tweets. But I was scrolling through those, and a lot of those were retweets, but he does interact quite a bit. So I'll give him props there. You know, he's engaging with the fan base. He did show that he interacts with teammates a lot on Twitter, showing team photos, like him with the team, not all about himself. So that was a good sign. And also on Instagram, he has 31,000 followers. Not too many posts, but that could be because he has certain privacy settings or whatever. I'm not an Instagram expert, to say the least. But just for that following alone, he gets a 9.
Whoa.
And that
9.
he's active. You can't just have followers. You got to be a little bit active, and he showed that.
That's a 9?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Remember, I'm an expert on this. I was looking at statistics across the whole draft board, and he's up there. At least when you can, 3rd round. We're talking about value picks here. The 1 million followers go in the 1st round. You're not going to get a 1 million follower later in the draft.
I did a little research of my own, and I came up with that he was supposed to. I guess he was going to steal a dog from the linebacker that went to the Kansas City, and the dog didn't want to come to the dog pound. So I docked him points for that because he couldn't steal the dog.
Well, you know what, Roger? With that feedback, can you take a point off? Make that an 8.
All right.
That an 8,
All right.
That's only fair.
That's concerning. That's pretty concerning.
Yeah, he didn't secure the dog.
Yeah, this is why scouting departments have more than one person.
It's true. So Jessica points out that our draft review is basically us being stalkers. Yeah.
But we usually are anyways. We just don't, advertise it and then broadcast it with, rating systems for people. But yeah, this is our normal behavior probably.
All right, let's move it along. What everyone wants to know, who is David Bell banging? So let's find out.
Who's he ringing the bell with?
Unfortunately, this is not actually David Bell's girlfriend, but this is the woman he chased after his entire career at Purdue, but unfortunately he was too slow and she got away. We're going to give him a 3.
Ooh. What do you give her, though? What do you give her?
Now I'm starting to understand. Like, Andy, you were telling us, like, in the pre-production meetings, you weren't a big fan of Andrew Berry's draft, and I'm seeing why.
All right, Ed, why don't you tell us about his sign?
All right, signs, everywhere a sign. Okay, Mr. David Bell, born December 14th.
He's lucky he paid us tonight.
He's a Sagittarius.
Did you cash the check? Did it clear?
It did. Thank you.
It cleared.
It's a money order. It's a money order.
He's a Sagittarius, David Bell, which means he's an archer. He's an archer. He's wise. And also freedom is another trait of being a Sagittarius. You know what I like about freedom? If you're a wide receiver, you want freedom. You want separation away from the cornerback. Or you know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that. The fact that he's wise. I didn't do it. Something's angry in the atmosphere.
Experiencing its typical mid-show fuck-ups. So
I thought Dan joined us for a minute there.
Dan or Kyle. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, geez. So like I said, wise, freedom, wide receiver makes sense, separation, good route running. I really like this one, guys. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Whoa.
Nine.
Look at that.
Well, I
For a
think we have a,
Sagittarius?
Ring my bell.
Oh,
Ring
my
my bell.
goodness.
They
Sorry.
need you over in Berea. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
sorry, audience, for not hitting mute on that one. All right. By my quick math, I think we have a new leader in the clubhouse. Roger, can you give us the tally?
Hold on. We're counting.
These are big numbers here.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
plumber,
we
man.
don't have a leader. We're tied.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so it was
20 to 20.
We docked him that point.
We
That
docked
point
him
he
that
got
point.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's getting dramatic.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, well, we still have more comprehensive draft review to go, so let's see if we can break this tie. Ross, who's
right.
next?
Up next, round 4, pick number 108, Perrion Winfrey from Oklahoma. So, social media, here are his statistics. So on Twitter, he has 28.7 thousand followers, a little bit more than David Bell the round before. He has 7,000 tweets, pretty solid number. A lot of them are actually from him. They're not just a bunch of retweets. But if you guys were on social media right after the draft, I mean, I think if you're thinking, what's a 10 out of 10, just go to Perrion Winfrey's Twitter or see the interviews that he did recently. He's got a ton of energy. He wants to be a part of the dog pound. He's going to bring the juice, is what he says. He's just ready to go. He's very hyped up. And another thing is there's some pictures out there of him on Oklahoma's campus just kind of being crazy, carrying around a Chucky doll. I mean, this guy is going to be a fan favorite, kind of like Mac Wilson, where he's all hype, and even if he doesn't do great, we're going to keep believing in him because he does hype up the team. So he's getting
Just go to a Cavs game and you Clevelanders fall in love with the players. Just go to
I
a
know.
Cavs
He's getting a 10 out of 10 social media. I mean, this is a textbook 10 out of 10. People are falling in love with him, not because of what he does on the field, but because of what he does on social media.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ross, for that. Now let's meet Winfrey's very handsome partner. Here we go. We got Stedman. He gets bonus points for
It's
attaching.
Oprah's.
Thank you, Ed. He gets bonus points for attaching his anchor to such an earner. So we appreciate that, the Dog Chug, and we're going to give Perrion Winfrey a 10.
Man, I'm just surprised it didn't make more headlines.
Wow.
But this is why you're such a good evaluator, Andy.
That's a side piece, or is that his domestic? I got to write it down.
That's Stedman,
Okay.
but Perrion calls him Studman.
I hope you don't run into this guy, Andy, and he saw this.
Yeah, he's not going to like this.
Let's offend a defensive tackle that weighs 290 pounds.
I could take him.
Well, okay, so we'll go to the signs. Okay, so Perrion Winfrey's got 2 10s, okay? 2 10. That's a nice score. I like what he's got. So right now he's tied, right? 20, 20, 20?
20 to 20. Yeah, it's a 3-way tie right now.
All right. Well, okay, so let's go. He's a Leo. That means he's a lion. Okay. Some of the fun traits of them, he's fun, he's loyal, and he's honest. And this going back to what Ross was saying, look at his social media prowess. I mean, he's fun, he's loyal, he's honest, he's having fun, he's doing it. You're either a dog or you're a pup. Are you a dog or a pup? Andy, are you a dog or are you a pup?
Definitely a pup.
I would agree with that. He also, the only downside is that there's a lack of self-awareness. But when you're a dog and not a pup, and you're, a defensive tackle as big as he is, you get away with anything you want. So, Perrion Winfrey, I think we're going to do this, guys. 3 perfect scores. Perrion Winfrey, 10.
Wow.
Woo!
10.
Technically, he's a cat, Ed. He's a Leo. Technically, he's a cat.
Yeah, and also, too, if he's a Sooner, isn't that like a farmer or something? Or
I want to dock him for being a Sooner
I do, too.
because of the Sooner boomers.
We all said in our pre-production meeting that let's not actually give anyone a 10 because no one's perfect. And then we all gave this guy a 10 because we love him so much.
We do.
He's the leader in the clubhouse. Who's next?
All right, we got Ed's favorite coming right up.
Oh,
The 4th round pick, the 124th pick, Cade York from LSU, the kicker. So here's his social media statistics: 6.2 thousand followers, 900 tweets. Not a whole lot of followers for being in the LSU fan.
He doesn't like a lot of tweets, I hear.
Yeah, so now I mean he likes the right ones, is what I'm hearing. Instagram, he's actually got a lot more there. 15,000 followers, but only 26 posts are showing up in my research. And I'm gonna have to dock him. He went on McNeil's show before he came on our stupid show. So one stupid show before the other. I mean, that's kind of weird. But here's my thing. After further review, after knowing that he's not liking Ed's tweets, he's getting a 15 out of 10.
Whoa.
whoa!
So if you thought a perfect score was a 30 out of 30, you don't know the Dawg Chug in our math.
Right. I'm the one adding.
All right, he's at 15. Let's see how he does. So, man, I gotta bring up Cade York's smoking girlfriend. I don't know if anyone's seen her, but wow, a treat for you guys. So, here we are.
Whoa!
Look
Oh
at
boy.
that. He's either cool like a peppermint patty, or he's got that Pete Davidson big dick energy. Sorry, I'm a little worked up here. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Sorry. That is not actually Cade York's girlfriend. That's LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels' girlfriend.
That makes more sense.
I am so sorry.
Oh shit. Our ratings just went up for like 10 seconds and you fucked it all up.
That wasn't the only thing that's going up.
Whoa. Hey now.
Hey, now.
Here is the actual girlfriend of Cade York. So sorry. This is the girlfriend of your kicker of the Cleveland Browns.
Whoa.
Oh,
Handsome.
Good thing I
So,
gave him extra credit on my score. Jesus.
I don't see a 15 coming.
I just want to say I think you can do a lot better. So we gave you a 0 on this one.
Oh,
So much for the extra credit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like fine. I didn't get to sing it, so but Ace of Base. I saw the sign and it opened. I love that song. I really do. So let's go to Cade York's sign. He is an Aquarius, a water bearer, as they say. It means he's calm, clever, optimistic, in advance. You're gonna need him to be calm under pressure, like a York peppermint patty. A great tweet that he didn't like. So you know what I'm gonna do? You give him a 15. I give him a -5, Cade York.
ooh,
Ow.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, he's definitely not coming on the Dawg Chug now.
His score
oh.
seemed heavily influenced by Ed. From all three of us.
We're very analytical on the Dawg Chug.
Purely coincidental.
Wow.
We can consult Roger if he needs to. If you need to convince us to change our score at all, or you feel comfortable with that one, Roger.
I'm you know what? I'm comfortable with it because I think kickers should ride in the fucking trunk. I got no use for them. I don't even want to remember their names. I just call them the kicker. So I got no problem with the -5.
Wow.
So I got the tallies, and we have a tie for second place. Is there a way to break the tie, you think, or are we going to go with 2 participation trophies for second place?
We'll do participation trophies. If you ain't
Okay.
first, you're last.
Right. All right. Well, Winfrey gets a sweep. I mean, he is, he got a 30 out of 30 gold medal. I love that kid. From what I saw on social media with the girl, there's a different girl every day. The ladies love him. He's the next big dog, like Big Daddy. He's the Big Daddy Carl Harrison. He's going to be like the next guy that defensive tackles that Browns fans love. No Danny Shelton jumping on the pile like 3 minutes, after the tackle. Who
Roger.
else? Yeah.
Let's go back old school like me and you. Defensive tackle. Went to McDonald's, got the MVP, Michael Dean Perry.
Michael Dean Perry, right. So, yeah, that was it. And then a tie for second, and then the kicker in the trunk got a 10, and he's lucky to get that.
Yeah, Roger, I got one question for you. As a neutral observer, of the three of us as draft evaluators, who would Andrew Berry hire?
Well, probably Andy because he hunted down all the photos of the hot chicks.
Thank you, MC Lawrence. You're
No,
absolutely right.
that's what you call bulletin board material right there.
Right. Get them fired up.
And Jessica has a question, Roger. Would you rather your kids play for the Steelers or that they become kickers?
Oh, Jesus, that's tough. I guess got to be kickers. Unless he's a kicker for the Steeler, then
Ooh,
yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. Get drafted by the Steelers, get kicked.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for all their work on the comprehensive draft coverage, and now we know that Perry Winfrey is going to be great. Right, and oh my gosh, who am I missing here? Wright and Bell are going to be solid, and Cade York, you're done before you even start.
What's Chase?
We better hope not.
They can get him back on.
You spend that kind of draft capital on a kicker.
All right. I do want to get to the commercials because we got to fund the show.
Yeah.
Ed actually paid for this ad. I'm going to read this one. So let's go. All right. Do you like educational, informative podcasts that actually teach you something about the Browns, but the second you put them on, you get bored and feel like you're at school? Well, give the new and improved Barking Browns a chance because now it's the same sleep-inducing, boring show as ever, but there's a dancing clown that will distract you from the guy eating dinner. Ed in Columbus won't actually teach you anything about the team, but he has a unique ability to talk for 17 minutes without saying anything. Like games with your podcasts? Less than a game, the Go For It segment will have you at the edge of your seat while Ed comes up with compelling questions like, should adults get Easter baskets? And should Browns add an orange jersey? Do complex thoughts make you nervous and give you anxiety? Well, Ed in Columbus has simple thoughts that are obvious to everyone, but will somehow stretch it so you can hit the bathroom, make a sandwich, and he'll still be talking when you get back to your computer. Worried you won't remember how much snow is on the field or what color bat Albert Bell was using in a 17-inning game against the Orioles? Have no fear. Ed doesn't actually have any important info, but the more useless it is, you might as well have your own time machine. Tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m., and you'll not only catch Jacob's amazing stats, Nick's surprising takes, but you'll be treated to a guy who doesn't give a damn. He brought the show to a screeching halt because he loves himself more than the audience, and damn it, he's going to have a great time. ED.
Wow, you got your money's worth there, Ed.
You know what? I don't really care what he says, negative or positive about me. As long as he mentions me,
You're out there.
It's so,
right.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care as long as when you just say my name, Andy. Say my name, say my
First
name.
of all, I was reading the ad you paid me to read. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I know that, but just hearing it from somebody else, whether I'm paying them or not to say it, I don't really care. I just love to hear it.
All right. You paid for it and you got it. So good job.
Yeah, thank you. Only in America.
All right. So again, unfortunately, our good friend Gator was unavailable for this episode. So why don't we do our Sit Sip Chug with the four of us? Sound fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab it at Fresh Brew though.
All right. You grab the fresh brew, and I'm gonna find our questions. We'll start with Roger, and then we'll go around.
Okay. Did you put him in the docs or not?
I did
You gonna
not.
surprise me? Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. I like to be surprised.
All right. Question number 1. Kenny Pickett will not be on the Steelers by the 2024 season. Roger? Are you spitting, sipping, or chugging?
I'm gonna sip on it. I really don't even know who the hell Kenny Pickett is. So that's how much I pay attention to him, and I know I'm sipping on it. I have no idea what this kid's talent level is, if he's gonna, make it in the NFL. He might be a practice squad player by 2023 and still be on the practice squad. I don't know. So I'm sipping.
All right. Ed.
I'm sipping as well. And you know what? I will say one thing. Baby hands, Pickett, baby hands. You know what is that saying? You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I think he's going to survive his rookie deal. And what is that, 4 years? Well, he ain't going to get a 5th year, so 4 years. So, yeah, he'll probably be the backup or whatever like that, but definitely sipping. But you know what? He can definitely buy his gloves or whatever at Baby Gymboree or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, that the other option is what's his name that got whacked in the head, Mason Rudolph. So he might last because that's their other alternative. So,
all right. Well, I am going to spitting on this one. Oh my god! I said he's not going to be on the team. I'm reversing. I'm chugging.
It's not a spit, sip, chug if Andy doesn't fuck it up.
Hey, I didn't fuck up like the last week, so I'm on a roll here.
Well, I don't even know the name of the game anymore, and I made it up, so I don't. I mean, when
All
this
right.
one.
Ultimately, I think he will be off the team by 2024 because they just the fact that they picked him. There's going to be like 17 great quarterbacks in next year's draft. The fact that they forced this guy onto their team this year, they should be rebuilding. They should not have taken him. He has a couple things he does well, but he has a lot of things that make him more of a lottery ticket. And they took him with pick 20? That's ludicrous. Now the whole fan base is going to be like, do we let Mitch suck up the joint, or do we go to the rookie? They're going to be arguing about that. It's going to be like the Baker Wars all over again. And then when he finally makes the field, he's going to have problems. He's not going to be great, and they're going to lose patience, and they're going to kick him off the team before they even give him a chance. So he's going to be gone, and I love it. Good job, Steelers. That was my favorite pick in the 2022 draft. Ross?
As much as I'd love to drink, I'm going to sip.
Oh, you guys are all pussies.
Good. No, every time you cheer against the Steelers, they do just fine.
yeah.
There's no way in hell I'm going to root for them, so I got to stay neutral on this. I mean, he can't be that bad either. Like, I have small hands. I measured my hands because I was curious of how small his hands were. And yeah, he's like, 8 1/4 or 8.5 inch hands,
8.5.
8 inches flat. And I do have trouble throwing like an NFL sized ball. So, I mean, I'd love to chug with you, but it's not happening.
Fair enough. Let me ask you this. Do you remember were the Steelers doing just fine when they had Bubby Brister as their starting quarterback?
No, they weren't. You
What
only
about
hear
Cordell Stewart?
They didn't do bad with Stewart a couple seasons.
Bobby Brister took them. They won a couple playoff games, like in 1988 or whatever.
Did they have consistently good
No.
quarterback play?
No.
Thank you. Now that Ben's gone, they will struggle just like the Browns struggled for 20 years, and they made a bad move just like the Browns do to reach for a quarterback, and now they're going to have to pay the price.
That's what I get from
There you
it.
go.
I want to see them draft a quarterback at 20, 22, like we did with Whedon and what's his name from
Brady
from
Quinn.
Notre Dame.
Brady
Yeah,
Quinn.
Brady Quinn, and just keep going through that cycle of drafting guys at 20 that you think are going to be good quarterbacks, and people run out and buy jerseys. That's
Well, at least
still got
they
a
draft
Whedon
tall
jersey.
ones, unlike us.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's move on to question number 2. The Cleveland Browns had the best draft in our division. Ed, we're going to start with you.
I'm gonna spit whatever you do. I'm not actually gonna spit because that's nasty. But I gotta give it to the Baltimore Ravens. I hate to give them any kudos, but I really like what they did, and damn it, I'm speechless.
Well, I hope you stay that way. I'm gonna follow suit, unfortunately, and I'm also gonna spit. That time I actually meant to spit. I agree. Unfortunately, with Ed, the Ravens did have the best draft. They were filling holes like crazy. Still not convinced they're going to be able to get the job done with Lamar, but man, do they have a good team, and they got some great players. Browns were fine, but like Roger said, this was a draft more about just kind of restocking for the future. I don't think we're going to see the immediate results that the Baltimore Ravens will. Ross, I'm going to kick it to you.
Keep the streak alive. But you like my spitting or you don't like my spitting?
I'm
Whatever.
trying to decide whose spit was worse, yours or Ed's.
Oh, you'll say it's me anyways. You'll say it was me.
I think
know
it
you
was
will.
yours. I think
I got
yours.
a cat on the ground. I can't spit on my cat.
Oh, can I say?
Nah, I'm not getting her out for you. No, but anyways, no. We do. There's no way in hell we do. We don't have a first round pick. As much as people want to say, oh, but our first round pick was Deshaun Watson. 3 of our first-round picks were Deshaun Watson, not 1, you idiots. So, and the fact that we got rid of our second-round pick. So, no, you can't have the best draft without having a first or second-round pick.
Fair enough. Roger.
I have to give it to the Ravens, and
You gotta spit.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm spitting.
Okay. I guess. Yeah.
He's talking to Loogie.
Yeah.
I have to give it to the Ravens. It kills me to do so. I can't call the Browns a great draft. That's like saying, Tampa Bay had a great draft, or the Rams had a great. You know what I mean? Like the Rams had a great draft because they traded all their picks away. Like Ross said, can't say it was a great draft for the Browns. I gotta give it to Ravens. I tried to get my source, and he didn't get back to me. I get an answer for you from my source, something from the inside, but.
Andy, since we all said the Ravens, okay, what's better? Would you rather eat a pierogi or a crab cake?
Pierogi.
Yeah, me too.
Have you ever had a Maryland crab cake? They're incredible. They're like
Shut
actually.
up, Ross. Ross is Art Modell. Are you related?
Ross in Baltimore.
Oh man, just because I like crab.
Man, I can't wait to have you guys both on the Dog Spit Sip Chug in future episodes. This is great. Let's move on to question number 3, the final question.
Thank God.
Kareem Hunt will be traded before the season. Ross, we're going to start with you.
That was a real spit, just very light. If we're doing spit evaluations, no, we're gonna keep him. He's really affordable. He's super talented. We've seen what he does with Chubb. I don't think there's much explanation needed for this one.
All right, Roger.
I'm spitting. How's that better? I love Kareem Hunt. I love the way he runs the football. I love how physical and how violent he is. And I don't think they're getting rid of Kareem Hunt. I'm spitting on that.
Ed.
Just like most of Andy's dates back in high school, he's spitting, I'm spitting on that. Kareem Hunt will be a Cleveland Brown.
Are you implying
Ed,
that
I'm not implying anything.
that sucked guys off in high school?
This is a rated R episode, apparently.
I take a lot of shit, but I can give it.
The
back.
crazy thing is, like, Baby Manch hasn't even gotten involved.
Hey, now it's a little feisty tonight.
Wow. Okay. Well, fair enough. I will accept your insults. Do you have an explanation why you're spitting?
Yeah, because I just think that he's a good player, and for $6 million, they're going to get rid of him next year. They know. I think why not go all in this year with him? I mean, trade him for what? I mean, I think the advantages of keeping him this year and advancing in the playoffs is still better than getting a fourth round pick next year. Who cares if you trade him?
All right. Before I answer, let me ask you this question: who is the odd man out? Because we have kind of a crowded room right now.
Well, I think that the Ford guy will be from Cincinnati, who I like. I think next year it'll be him will be second behind Chubb, and then if they're Ernest or whatever like that, yeah.
So who's out this 2022 season? Are they going to carry 4 running backs?
I think the Ernest is out.
Okay.
Do we save money if he's out?
Yeah.
Well, we save money if Kareem Hunt's traded, right?
No, I'm saying Ernest.
Yeah, no. If we cut Ernest, obviously it's like 2
Yeah, it's 2 something.
Isn't Kareem Hunt like 5 or 6?
Yes, like $6 million.
If they want to pinch pennies, they could.
Oh my God! This is like we're doing math and we're actually talking football. What is this show tonight? I don't recognize it.
I think
we still haven't hit our 5 minutes of serious football talk. Okay, we're still under it.
Okay,
still under 5 minutes.
I
think Felton's gone. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Where Felton will be next season? Is he going to be in the wide receiver room? I don't know. All right, I am also going to spit on this one. Ultimately, it's very simple. Kareem Hunt is just a guy we don't have if he's not here. And like Ross said, he's not the most expensive guy. He adds so much. We saw what we missed last season without him.
Yep.
It's just that he's his pass catching ability. He just runs with a different style than Chubb does.
He runs angry.
It's so effective when you just switch those 2 guys up, in the fourth quarter, and they just destroy you. No way are we getting rid of Kareem Hunt, so he will be on this team, in my opinion. And that is another episode of Spit, Sip, Chug.
Awesome.
Good job, everyone. All right. I believe we have another ad read. Ross, I think you've got this one.
Yeah, I've got one. Ed sent me another one of his crazy ads.
I paid for it, so
He's got to keep promoting himself. I really do appreciate the funding you're giving us, though. It's fantastic.
Your money.
The hottest Cleveland Browns podcast just got hotter. Ed in Columbus joins the Down with the Browns podcast. He talks Cleveland football with Christian the Hillbilly, Max the Bison, and Mandy Maxwell. If you love Ed and don't love your earbuds, this is the perfect podcast for you. Max the Bison uses logic and data to break down the Browns roster. Christian sweet talks you with his charming southern accent. And Manny hangs out so people don't think Ed is a racist. But who are we kidding? You got to listen to what Ed has to say and what dance move he has in store. Will he have recycled content from his tweets earlier in the day? Will he repeat what he said on his other 5 podcasts? There is only one way to find out. Tune in. You know Ed is monitoring the comments, and he will give you just enough attention so he is still the center of attention. Now on Spotify, Twitter, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Wow.
That's a solid read right there. Thank you, Ross. You did that justice.
Nice.
That was well done. Everyone tune in to Ed in Columbus on the great, what is it called? Down with the Browns.
Down with the Browns, Monday.
Down with the Browns.
3 days a week, you get Ed.
All right. Well,
That's our.
sorry, Roger, what were you saying?
No, it's just nothing. Go ahead.
He's making fun of me, probably.
Yeah, I want to hear you make fun of Ed, please.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to make fun of Ed. Unfortunately, I don't have anything ready to make fun of him about.
There's got to be something on the top of your mind that you can make fun of Ed.
I mean,
on.
this face, just looking at my face doesn't make you want to say something mean.
Absolutely not. I love Ed.
I
It's
love
like a
Roger.
fart joke. You can just say them whenever you want. It takes 2 seconds.
Jessica, who I know is watching, if you could think of a way to make fun of Ed, we would appreciate
Yeah,
it.
please do. Yeah,
Yes. Anybody. Chime in.
All right. I believe, though, you prepared another one of your great top 10s. I love these. These are one of the favorite things that you do.
I got it right here. I got our top 10 for tonight. And I prepared it. I got a new printer. We got a new printer, and I figured out how to work it on my phone. So I do some cutting and pasting, and I come up with the top 10. That's how they did it back in school, back in the old days.
You can actually read it
Tonight,
now.
tonight's top 10 are the top 10 signs the 2016 and 17 Cleveland Browns were indeed tanking. Number 10, some hillbilly billionaire bought the team. He hired a lawyer, a baseball scout to run it, and Hugh Cifer to coach it. Husifer.
It's Husifer.
Man, did Ed write that one?
Husifer.
Instead of saying, Husifer, it's Husifer.
Husifer.
Nobody got that, Andy. Come on. I think give the audience a little credit.
Number 9. They drafted Cody Kessler in the 3rd round. Number 8. They moved on from Ray Farmer and Mike Pettin, yet somehow managed to downgrade. That would. Number 7. They had a chance to finally draft a legit quarterback and decided, nah, we're good, and traded back, got extra picks, turned around, and drafted a gaggle of shitty wide receivers and Deshaun Kaiser.
That's
With number 6, when your head coach wins one game for every 30 L's he takes, and then he's welcome back the next season, it's tough to argue the strategy is winning.
It's kind of like you guys bringing me back.
Yeah.
You never left.
Number 5.
Hold on, but that's kind of like every episode we continue to do with the Dawg Chug. Like, why we continue doing this is sort of like Hugh Jackson coming back for another.
Right.
Sorry, continue.
We're Twitter's Hugh Jackson. Podcast Hugh Jackson. Number 5. During the Hugh interview, when they asked him some tough questions and he threw everybody from Cincinnati all the way to Oakland under the bus, they knew they found a perfect guy the team would universally despise.
Yeah.
And in the fan base. They did well on that.
They
Number 4. Even Nick Carnes said, fuck this. Number 3. The owner took draft advice from homeless people, yet he still fucking knew more about football than coach and GMs that he hired.
Wow. Before you continue, we do have an insult for Ed in Columbus. Let's see.
All right.
Jessica weighs in. I heard they invited Ed to host another podcast. It's called The Masked Podcaster. They're still working on booking guests, even though there are about 1 million Brown podcasts. Well done. Continue, Roger.
Number 2, they put a premium on draft assets. Yes, they drafted Deshaun Kaiser in the second round. At least they didn't do something really stupid like spend a third round for 9 quarters of Tyrod Taylor, buddy boy.
That was a bad move.
And the number 1 sign, the 2016-2017 Cleveland Browns were tanking, winning, tanking, rebuilding. Jimmy Haslam don't give a fuck. 1-31 and still sold out every home game. The fans even threw a fucking parade. And that's tonight's top 10. And it's sponsored by Ed_in_Columbus. Go get you some Ed.
Wow.
Ooh.
Good job. Yes. You've changed my mind. They were clearly tanking. Sorry, Hugh Jackson, for defending that you were wrong. Anyway, I think we skipped one of Ed's ad reads. Which one?
I'm paying for this.
You skipped it. I was supposed to do one at the top. Do it all the way at the end. I don't want to do 2 bits in a row.
All right. Well,
Are we at the end?
We have Ed School. Let's go.
I love Ed School.
Awesome.
So,
Is it the University of Ed yet? Are we there yet?
Like DeVry College.
You play Ed School against the guest, and today we don't actually have a guest because Gator, was doing something else. So, I guess you get to pick. Do you want to play Ed School against Ross or Roger?
Ooh.
You know what? Let's go against Ross, producer versus
you're
producer.
lucky.
All right.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Roger right now. He's coming off that awesome top 10.
Mano y mano.
Yeah.
Got the vibe going? Yeah.
All right. Now the more important question. You won last week, right?
I did.
All right. So that means Ross gets to go first.
Okay.
All right, Ross. This is a pretty easy question. Who was the best pick the Cleveland Browns drafted, and why?
Well, I mean, you saw my scouting evaluation earlier. It was a very important one. Perion Winfrey. He got a 10 out of 10. I did give the extra credit to Cade York just because of Ed. But if we're going off of enthusiasm, also value at the pick we got, he's the guy. I mean, he's going to come in. He's going to care. He's not going to care about the money he makes. He wants to prove himself. You know, he said he's a JUCO kid. He didn't come out of high school highly recruited. He had to prove himself. He did. And that's why I think he's going to succeed in the NFL. He's not going to stop working. He's going to be there with great mentors on both sides of the line. He's ready to go.
All right. That's a good answer. Ed, you got your work cut out for you, but I know you could do it.
The best pick was Cade York, and here's why. Because everybody loves the fact that he didn't like my tweet. Andy and Nick were living it up, just having a field day. Like, oh, Cade York liked my, tweet, like my response. But Eddie Columbus didn't get any love. And Andy, when your head hits the pillow every night and you think that Eddie Columbus got slighted, Eddie Columbus was down here when he should have been up here, you feel better about it. You like that. So I don't know how you could ever vote for anybody but Cade York. So I'm going to say Cade York because I know deep down in your black heart, that's what you really want.
All right.
Wow.
Well, we have 2 interesting answers. Roger, I'm going to turn to you. You're going to be the first one to vote. I'm going to vote. If we agree, then that's the winner. If we disagree, we'll ask Jessica to weigh in.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna vote for Ed. He brought the Ed fire. I was getting a little pumped up. I was actually started to get excited, and then I realized he's talking about a kicker. So, yeah, he got me a little fired up. I was like, oh, he's talking about the kicker. So I gotta give it to him.
All right. I am very torn on this one because, on some level, everything Ed said is true. I love that York disrespected Ed, and I love that, there's a rivalry between the two.
Yeah.
However, if I vote for Ed, then I give him the respect of winning this round, which, I don't want to do that. So I'm very torn. I'm
glad you let me go first, so it was on you to do it.
Yeah, well, believe me, that thought occurred to me. I kind of want to see what Jessica thinks, but I think I have to go Ed because I think you gave the more compelling answer. So I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to.
That's 3 wins in a row. That's 3 in a row.
Wins Ed school. Man, he's coming along.
Higher education.
Get your Twitter education.
All right, Roger, I think you have another ad to read, and then
I do it.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he won that round because he paid you for this episode.
That's true.
I feel like you were influenced just a tad bit.
Yeah, Ross, you should probably pay us money to let you talk more, and then, we'll vote you.
I've been on the whole episode, so I don't know how true that is.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ed. We know how much you're paying the Breaking Browns. We now know how much you're paying us. How much do you pay Down with the Browns? To be
financial terms are undisclosed.
Keep it no secret.
Okay, Jess says that Ed was more passionate and excitable. However, she agreed with Ross.
I agreed too. Ross, that was a great answer.
It was a great answer.
I'm usually not that serious too, so I'm sorry I threw you guys off.
He told me, Ed. See, Ed told me because he paid me, I had to vote for him at Ed school. So he sent me a DM.
On a legitimate podcast, you would have definitely had the better answer, but this is the Dawg Chug where, it's just a bunch of
right.
Yeah, that's you got to know your audience. You got to know your audience.
You got to pander to your sponsors, though. That's the bottom line.
That's why I voted for you. You leaned into the Dawg Chug. I appreciate that. All right.
Yeah.
I think we have one more ad read.
We do. This is an ad promo for Ed's Twitter account. If you wake up with only 2 notifications on Twitter and have no action on your Twitter feed, well, now there's a simple solution to help you become more noticeable on Twitter. Give a follow to @Ed in Columbus. That's right, Ed_in_Columbus. That'll have your notification box lit up before you even pour your first cup of coffee. Ed in Columbus works hard for you, staying up all night, jacked up on old school Mountain Dew, and watching himself on all 3 of his podcasts. Then Ed'll carpet bomb your timeline with highlight promos of Ed. That's right, Ed in Columbus. That's Ed in Columbus. Just join chats and add Ed. Your DMs will blow up like Ed's hit song, J-O-K is A-OK. Obscure old block family sports history, Cleveland sports history that Ed wasn't at, cats, dancing, sock puppets. You want a front row seat to Browns Twitter? Improve your Twitter life? Follow Ed in Columbus. That's Ed_in_Columbus. Get some love from Ed now.
Wow. Can I do a super follow for this guy?
Yeah, you should.
You guys know why I have 2 underscores in my Twitter handle?
There is.
Yeah.
You know why?
No?
There's 2 underscores because it underscores the 1 point that I'm awesome.
You know,
I don't even. That joke went right over my head. Can you explain that?
You know what a pain
I have
in the
2
ass is?
underscores in my name because it underscores how awesome I am.
Why wouldn't you do 3 underscores then?
Right. Why don't
Because
you have
I would.
E_D_I_N_.
Ed_Ward.
I love that.
Do you know what a pain?
Show how awesome you are, and you stopped at 2. You're a fucking idiot.
Do you know?
This is who you work for, Ed.
We already cashed your check, and we already read your last promo. Fuck you, Ed.
All right, before this gets too crazy, I think Baby Manch wants to.
Great.
Thank God he's ending the show again because we suck at it.
We do suck at it. So, Baby Manch.
That's definitely one of he got that gene from your wife for sure. Ending shows.
All right, Baby Manch, please send us out here. Good. We want to have a great ending to what I think was one of our best shows yet. So,
yeah,
what do you say about it?
And another miserable episode of the Dawg Chug mercifully comes to an end. It was like you guys thought, how could we outsuck last week and pull down one for the ages? Good lord, were you terrible. You read those ad reads with less inflection than I have, and I'm using the computer. How can we grow an audience? I know, let's put more Ed on, that should do it. They were going to use episodes of this show to torture terrorist suspects to confess, but realized waterboarding was actually the more humane way to go. Let's make a deal. If nobody watches this episode, how about you pull the plug and actually go back to being losers that spend time with your families? Probably not, though. Like Baker Mayfield, you'll not listen to reason and keep insisting on coming back out here and stinking up the joint. Whatever. Fuck Ross for producing. Fuck Ed for being annoying. Fuck Roger for just sitting there. And most of all, fuck you, Dad, for setting the bar so low. If I become a crack addict, I'll still be the most successful man in the house. As always, drink them if you got them and fuck off.